Hello and welcome to the catch-up session, the catch-up section of the session. That's a bit of a tongue twister, to be honest. Yeah, what have we done this session? I'm just starting this off for like going through the winter, as in like, yeah, I'm going to leave this trundling with doing the stone picking, which means we must have ploughed. That's one way to do it. Yeah, we must have ploughed the field to leave stones, which we have. We've got the bales off. We've left them down here, I believe, on the Anderson. We're not taking them back up. But we got all the straw off, and we ploughed at least a plough from this end from the shop and set this going. So I just thought I'd start this going, because over the next sort of few sessions, all we've got to do really is I've been testing is my number one thing that I've been trying to do. My fertilizer spreader, which is a 20 meter, which Courseplay's kindly worked out, and we've also tested the seeder, and that works nicely too. It's a true seeder that works at 6 miles an hour, so it really is just a seeder. So again, I've not quite got them right, but they are sturdy, solid, and they're doing what they should do. Apart from it's moaning about a fertilizer effect, so I need to check that out, what I've done wrong on this fertilizer. It works. It's not casting. You can see it's not doing the fertilizer effect. I don't know why, because it did earlier on Rizu Forest. I must have clicked something or switched something off. You can see it's doing the shadow on the ground, but it's not doing the effect that it should do, and it was doing it early, so I must have done something to it, and it's switched that off now. So yeah, we planted wheat in this, and we did that with ours just so I could test with it, and we've also done the fertilising with Courseplay, and again with Courseplay it works, but with both of just the standard AIs it kept leaving a patch, which is what I got with the Razek the first time I used it as well. So that's down to me not quite setting it up right. We've put the grapes and oils down, this we lifted the earth, made a proper earth bank, and now we did say we were going to buy this field, and I am intrigued. I did think when I said it, I thought that's not a bad idea. I really wouldn't mind doing that, doing something a bit different, and in fact, we could do it now, actually. I'm forgetting we're reloaded, aren't we? I know we need animals, but the very mod I needed that I didn't have before, we now have got. So field 21. Yeah. Ooh, are we going to have to buy 20, though? Really are, aren't we? That's a bit of a waste, that field. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give ourselves 206,688 because the game won't allow us to pass through. It really isn't. If we just visit it, it's not really the kind of ground I can really make much use of. But we can't put a bridge across unless we own it. So it's more like we're having rights of way. So I'm going to literally give myself 200,000, 202, just so that we've got the rights to this. And I know we have got a lot of cash, we could do this, but we can't afford to waste that kind of cash just so we've got access. I just thought it was something different. I've never seen anybody else do it. So 206, that'll do. I'm not worried about that. So 330, I've still got that, and we're gonna buy field 17 when we can afford it, which is quite a long way off, but perhaps should have let myself, but we've got the means to do it, is what I'm thinking. So what I'd like to do is, I think the best place to do it would be here, and we would then cross straight over here. Oh, it's misty with one of if the bridges, I think there's a couple of narrower points, but probably would be best. Actually, do we need to do that? Haven't we? Is that field? Just go and have a look. I think the gatey bit is the next field down. This might be the wrong field. I think we were buying this mainly for... No, because I think... Ooh, the dog. Ah, very dog. So, can you... I think it was more... Yeah, there is a bit of a gate, but it's really is tiny. It's more of a... There's a gate down the bottom, but it's a long way for us to travel. So I think we will stick to what we said. We'll have that field, which then does mean we do have to do something. Can we sort of like make a bit of a route through here instead of going across there? And then we could sort of... I did like the idea of a bridge, but what I mean is I'd waste the field then. Yeah, it's true. I think we could sort of make do with like a bit of a... Let's have a go. Let's have a bit of a go. So we probably will cover a bit of that. Let's make a proper road. That way we're not wasting much of the field. But are we going to keep it grass or make it into a field? In which case, let's have an aerial view. Let's put the drones up in the sky and see. Or do we cross over that there and cross over there, that wasted bit of land, and we've still got that field then? That's not... I don't think that's a bad idea. I would have thought it was in tools. Used to be the bridge, but then it also used to be in decoration. So sheds, it won't be in sheds, silos, constructibles, container. I would have thought it was in container. I would have thought it was, if anything, it would be in decoration. If like others, yeah. Here we go. Concrete bridge long, concrete bridge short. Oh, we only need a concrete bridge short. This is what I was thinking. If we... Yeah, we need to like have enough room to actually do it though. We need to do a bit of like making a bit of a road, I would say. Do we do like a broad, like a concrete around the edge? Almost like a little road, and then it's done properly. Stick like that, and then what we'll do is we will level from that point there. And then we need to smooth. I need to come further than you think. That's the trouble that I've realised with the softening tool, the smoothing tool, that you need to sort of come out more than you think. Otherwise, it literally straight away destroys it. A little one. You can sort of use this like you did the sloping tool in FS22. Sort of almost. Yeah, it is. It's not terrible. I do like that tool. I've not tried it in FS. Let's have a look. Set slope target point, and then slope 2 point. One more, close to the edge. Yeah, no, and then a bit of softening, just that patch there where it's like something weird. A little bit there. And a little bit there, I think. I don't think that's too shabby. And we'll... obviously, we're borrowing someone else's field. Is the premise we've just done. We're not... We will stick to that as well. We're not going to like cheat. We're not going to like use this land for anything at all. We're just going to stick to this, like the story that it is just a way through. Plant. That's, yeah. There's not much we can do about that. Don't think we can. Yeah. I don't know that you can do anything about it. So we've got a bridge. Used to that already. Yeah. We need to. Well, not bought field 17 yet. we can sort of do something similar, a bit of a land bridge, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it wider, almost like a ramp that you go up and then go across like that. Like I have done it. I did it on one of the, not Ballyspring, it was one of the Irish maps, but I can't remember which one was it called. It was Marty that actually suggested that I did it. Right, so we've bought that field, we can't afford field 17, 16, yeah, but that's the one we're going to go for, 328,000, we've got all the way through these, so we do need to raise a lot of cash, it really is as simple as that. No, we've done our bridge now, haven't we, so we're not wasting any land. We have got that, I don't know what we're going to do in it, it's a really very hilly field, so it's not like the easiest of things to do something, but I just wanted to do something that I didn't think anyone else would have done, which is this, to literally go this away instead of all of the big fields that away, just for a change. And it's sort of a good use of our land. I mean, literally we're gonna, I might have to do a bit more work on this, it looks a bit umpy bumpy. This isn't too bad though, that worked out about as good as I thought it would, so that's not too terrible. So we've got a way straight the way through there and all the way down there to what will be our land in the future. Yeah, so we don't own that in the middle, is what we're playing by that sort of rule. So right, and that is where I'm going to leave it. Let's have a look at when we sell the grape juice and that, because I think it has, no, I think grape juice was one of those that's actually good all of the time. Yeah, it goes up and down, up and down. Raisins likewise are about the same, they're fairly decent. Olive oil is good in June, that's right, that has got a good month, so that's worth sort of waiting for. So next session we are doing the animals, but the last thing I'm going to do on this catch-up section, I say I've always wanted to do that as well, I keep saying that, and that's the catch-up session. Anything that we need to do that is interesting, I want to do like in this session. You can't always wait, but this time you can. Now we're going to need a trailer, and it's got to be a push, so I'm going to use this one, yeah, our medium sort of one, so for 27,777, because I find it really perfect for like animals, and the fact that it's a push as well is really brilliant. So that is the first bit of it, we'll get that done. We've got the milk tanker that we were given. We were lucky as well, because obviously it's not because I love the red rock, but it's obviously it lifts, so we're going to keep that for milk. Thanks to Oxygen David, we're lucky. What I was about to say was we're lucky to get the equipment, because obviously Oxygen David changed it a few days after we did this start from scratch. I started it, so we're very lucky to actually get the let's just move that as well, because otherwise I know what's going to happen. I'm going to leave it and it's going to grow in the middle of a field of wheat, because that's usually what I do. So yeah, so really the other thing, oh no, that's, I was going to say, why is that done there? Yeah, obviously the stone picker we're going to leave trundling, and we'll do a crop in that next year. So yeah, we obviously bought field 21, but you've seen all that I've done, really. Yeah, we've done nothing else other than plant the wheat, fertilise the wheat, and test my equipment, put the grapes and oils down, move the grapes and oils in. Obviously, no, we've done all of that as well. That should now go through. We sold the silage additive, and the one thing I said, if you're not watching the entire session, there's a reason why Giants won't allow you to sell silage additive, and that is because it's so expensive. It's $3,000 for 60 litres. Well, we had 200,000 litres. If you do the maths, we would have earned 9.7 million if the game would have allowed us to sell the silage additive, which is why, of course, Giants don't want you to do it, because it sort of ruins the game a bit. It's a bit like buying and selling gold, like if you were to do it in real life. You know, if you could make gold and sell it for the proper price of real gold, you'd be rich. And this is the same. This is like liquid gold. If Giants allowed you to sell this and make it, I can make it, but I can't sell it, and that's why it would just ruin the game, because you could make yourself a millionaire in just by buying a piece of equipment like this. for 27 grand and making silage additive and selling it, and you'd be a millionaire straight away. And it would sort of make the game into a bit of a travesty, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I understand why they've done it. I didn't to begin with, but then when I did the maths, I thought, yeah, I do really see why they did what they did, because otherwise it would have been, yeah, it would have been sort of quite too good a thing to actually do. So right, that's where I'm going to leave it though. Yeah, if you are going to watch the rest of the session, then I yeah, really do hope you enjoy the rest of the session. I thought I'd start down here. I need some testing doing, and I thought it'd be perfect. I'd said I wanted 2 sets of fertilizer things. I was going to buy one anyway, but I really want to finish my mod testing for my my 2 things that I've actually done. I'm going to have to change them to lizard. I realise that, because giants will have a dicky fit if I leave it as BI Industries. So with that in mind. So this is my, obviously not the same as it used to be. I've tweaked the settings for the meterage. I'm hoping I've done it right. I just watched BDBSSB. I always get confused with his name, I really do. So we're going to buy that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, well, we may as well do it now. We'll have the stock and deliver it. Oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, and this one, I was aiming for the picture's not quite right. That's the old model. Yeah, this is slightly different now. It's, yeah, it is. Oh, it's got, oh, that's a little bit of the thing bleeding through. It is. Yeah, I've still got to alter those. Yeah, I've got to knock those down. I'm going to quickly pop out. I really want to really put this to mod up, and I don't want any silly errors like that. So I'm just going to literally pop out again. Yeah, a bit of an explanation is required. The attacher is a measurement, and it's a little tiny slide on where everything goes, but it doesn't mean anything, and that's what controls where those silver blobs go. So you sort of, in a way, I have to guess. So. Right, fantastic. So yeah, I wanted to test these one last time before and trying to get everything right. So I might pop in and pop out because I've got to get this right. So yeah, I'm going to be right back. Yeah, I brought this down to actually well, it was only around the corner, but obviously I shall now send this up to the top. Of course, he's going to bump into the cars, and then I'll pop out. And just have a quick go at trying to lower that. I think the black one likewise is slight. Just gotta wait for the second one. Oh no, that is the second one, I think. Yeah, so we're actually safe. Yeah, that is. I'm sure that's the second car. Yeah, everybody in the village drives the same. Ooh, we obviously hit. I thought so. Yeah, if I set that. This is an interesting sort of test. If I set that on the road behind that one, no, it still knows it's blocked. Right, okay. Oh my life, he must have obviously been clocked by one of them. Let's quickly get this out of the way. And I do love the way that the AI spines actually can work out that something is on the road. Oh my life, that was a bit quick. Well, we saw that. Yeah, I thought this is an ideal opportunity to actually get some planting done. We might need to go through till September. And the other thing I wanted to do was a bit. Now I have worked out why this is. Now obviously this, if you look at this, it shows you it is 60 litres. Now then, there's a reason why Giants won't let you sell that, and that is if we look in the shop. It took a bit of a while for me to actually work this one. I was like, why can we not sort of sell that? It's 2,990 for 60 litres. So, allow me to do the maths. We have got. Yeah, let's just have a look. How much have we actually got in our production? We have. Yeah, obviously this is totally. I'm going to have to do something though. Obviously, I'm going to change this completely. But we actually did use legitimate things to actually produce this, and it would be worth 186,821. So let's just do that. We'll just say 186,000. 186,000 divided by 60 for how many precise like canisters of that would be 3,100, and now times that by how much was it? Let's just have a look. Just say 3 grand, because we know we're not going to get it. Times 3,000 equals a grand total of 9.3 million if we sold that for the same price as the shop. Even if we were very generous and sold that for half price, we would be 4.5 millionaire people if we sold this. So now I realise totally why Giants, because we would all be making this and we would all be selling this on our Let's Plays and we'd all be millionaires. Now it is legit, obviously, there's nothing actually, you know, I mean, but obviously that's why Giants won't allow you to sell it. Now I could sort of do something a little bit skullduggery, I could sort of do that, but I'm not going to. But obviously we have got that on hand. I sort of need to get rid of it, which I can sort of do by zeroing out that. But it has cost us, and we would really gain some cash. So what I'm thinking is, to be fair, yeah, I suppose, yeah, it is true. You've got to look at it. What could we have done with those same resources to earn something else? If we just say 1,000 instead of like, is that fair? 186,000. Let's be fair. Let's just add 100,000. It'll cover the cost and the thing to ourselves, and that is like that. And what next session? What I'm going to do is remove 186,000. In fact, I'll do it in a minute. If I save the game and go out, we'll keep the few litres we've actually got on hand in case we actually need it. So in other words, I might keep it, but I'm going to shrink it down so it's just tiny, so that if you want to do it, again, I did do this to really not for selling, although I did always intend for this one to be something I did sell for a business, but now I understand why Giants won't allow that, because it's just so expensive that you'd really be a millionaire. So yeah, we'll do that to cover costs and all the rest of it. Let's just go grab the... No, so I'm going to go out. Yeah, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to do a little bit of tweaking, and we're going to get cracking straight away with... No, yeah, it is. I know what I was going to say. I'll start everybody off, but I want to change the 2 models. Just want to have a look at the black, the fertilizer spreader, which... Whereabouts are you? They both should... I don't think I've got collisions. No, I haven't. I'm going to have to change that as well. It's got collisions for like the seeds going in, but it hasn't got collisions. Ah, now that one's nearly right. Yeah. Now that's weird, because I knew this one was nearly right. So what I actually did do was put the same measurements onto the red one, thinking that'll be fine, that'll actually work, and it should have done. But what that really means is that I've not centered it. They're not, even though they're the same model, they're not sitting at the same. It's like 0, 0, 0. If you were to imagine like the center of the world, like basically the i3D is a little bit like that. It has a center point. Now I deliberately, because I knew the black one was nearly right for the like attacher. I don't think it's quite right though. If I remember rightly, there's a tiny little bit of a discrepancy. Yeah, it's very, very minutely wants raising upwards, and the red one wants raising a lot. I think. Is it raising or lowering? Let's have a look. Lowering, yeah. I'm taking you, Mume, because I've done a little bit of a change, but I've removed almost all of the silage additive, but I'm just wanted to do this with you, like watching as well, because I've removed it. I left a little bit in because the game's funny about it, like waking up with nothing, just seeing if it actually works or whether it has got some sort of backup. Obviously I've like observed this over different games. Has it allowed me to take it away, or has it remembered? Has it got like a variable somewhere? No, it does let you do it. I didn't want to put it to 0 because it's funny if you try and if you buy a brand new one, it like remembers that it's 0 and you've not created any storage. And if you try to add, like if you was moving from one side to another and it's got no storage being created, the game knows it's got no storage. I've seen it a couple of times. I was just wondering if you like so I've removed all of that silage additive. We need to stop that. No, we've deactivated it. Yeah, we have. So it's all right to make it for yourselves, but you really don't want to sell it. Well, you do. You really do want to sell it, but you're not allowed to. Yeah, it's. I can understand why. I mean, it is a game. It would take the challenge out of it if everybody just made silage additive and made themselves multimillionaires, and then where would the challenge be in the game? To be honest, so I totally understand. These other products are worth doing, but like they're not. Of course, yeah. Now then, I should have changed that. Oh, very close, almost. Oh, my life, not the top one though. What's that about? Why is the top one like not dropping down? That makes no sense to me. It looked right as well on the actual. Let's look at the other one. This one only tweaks a little tiny bit. That one, that one looks almost perfect, which is really weird. Let's just drop this one down and see if it actually makes any difference, it being on the ground or not, and let's not leave it in the undergrowth because it's difficult to see. Yes, I'm almost really ready. Oh, I realise I've done that. Let's have a look, because the bottom ones look about right, which means it must, yeah. It is. That's really weird. So the top one sort of is just a little bit. I want to get this right because I want to literally, tonight's the night. I want to put it into the mod hub. So the red is not quite right. The black is almost. Oh, it's too low on that one. It's almost like it's expecting it not to be quite level, which would mean, yeah, it is. It wants tweaking backwards. So if that makes no sense. There's a rotational axis. Sorry to use using big words. Oh, I also need to do that, but I'll do that later. Yeah, I think it needs tweaking so that the ball at the top goes backwards in the slot, if that makes any sense. Which means if you like rotate, the bottom ones will come up slightly. So that's true. Which also sort of would explain why that one really probably needs the reverse. It needs like rotating downwards to make, because the bottom ones are nearly right, but it also wants to go down a little bit too. So I'm going to try and just do that. I'm going to like screenshot the pair of them, and we will copy the image, and I will be right back. Right, I must have been in 10 times. And that again, it's really weird. What I came in, and if you tweak them backwards like I thought it was, it actually, all it does is tilts this on the back of your tractor. So the tilt it's got to be perfectly square, and that's as good as I can get this one. This one's really weird. The red one doesn't sit, and yet they're the same sort of like thing. This one's perfect. I got that one spot on, so I don't understand why this one's completely different, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna have to put up with it. I can't keep like doing this, otherwise it's gonna take forever. And the other thing is, there's a couple of little errors that I just sort of found. So let's just crack on. Yeah, if it takes me, I'd sooner it take another 2 days, even though I'm really like wanting to let's just try and get that like that, because this hasn't been playing ball, but I do think Giants have actually fixed it. I think. Oh, you're saying it's just dropped down into, yeah, you were saying Giants have fixed it? I'm not so sure myself. It looks fairly broken to me. That's burst tyres. Let's just try it. No, it's weird, isn't it? It may be that you're supposed to, well, you really in real life you may not do that. So yeah, the only way you're going to get that one is if you sort of cheat by grabbing the fence and holding it up, which is, yeah, a bit silly. I'm pleased with where we are, but I would like to, obviously there's 2 things I like to do. I've tweaked this I used it on Rizu Forest. We did all of the seeding. I'm trying to think, what are we needing? Yeah, I mean, obviously we've now changed direction because there's absolutely no point whatsoever in doing silage additive. So then we can ignore that. We've got all of that we ever need, like 2,000 litres odd. That one's, yeah, so mineral feed is something we can do. Straw and wheat, which I believe is tomorrow morning. So yeah, the most important thing to me personally right now is like getting this all sorted. So let's just get this going, and for once I'm not going to worry about, yeah, so we've got this field here. We've got to grab the bales off the other one, but it's more important to me to get these out. Yeah, the reason I don't think I had to mention this. Yeah, no, I think I did. Yeah, first thing this morning on Rizu Forest, but not everybody watches all Let's Plays, so I will continue to sort of say this on this one too. Yeah, I got some errors that basically meant that not some errors, but some of the graphics settings were okay for PC and Mac, but not okay for console players. And I thought, no, I am definitely not releasing this. Yeah, I want to set a normal AI going with this now. It won't say you can't do it till tomorrow, I believe. So, canola. Do we need? Oh, we could do diesel. We could do another field of canola, and this time we could actually keep it. And we could. No, we had canola here last time. Let's be observing, like, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through till tomorrow. I'm still going to do the animals. Did we check the sales? Yeah, I vaguely remember because I was sort of debating whether or not to buy the Albert fork, but 9 o'clock indeed. Oh, 9 o'clock on September. We will get the animals, but it might have to be like next session, so it depends on what I can do. See, I was going to do the animals right now and ignore the planting, but the most important thing to me is to get this on the mod hub finally. Some of my others I am going to, but to me I suppose it's really important to me right now. Let's just set this going. Now you've got to lower this because I've made it as a real seeder. If you do it, the AI will work. They will actually switch it on, and then it will work properly. I just want to see if the AI, earlier when I did this, still not square. Still has a weird angle, even though it's right, but it's not right. If that makes any sense to anybody at all. Yeah, I need to like see if the AI leaves gaps, because they did earlier. Right, let's grab the other one as well. They're both pretty much identical, though, really. So we've got you do nicely, and we will fertilise that as well. And we shall see if the AI with the two of them are actually. Did I fertilise the grass field? Because if I didn't, that would be probably that way. They're not going to like bash into each other. It's probably not a really bad thing to do, and then we will go and have a look what's on the stores. But I can. It's okay for me. I don't know what I watched at dinner time. BDSSB. I always get his name wrong. And I tried to understand. He obviously understands it. But when I watch him talk about like it means that I'm not a clue what you're on about. I can't figure out what you're on about. So I really can't. I just don't get what you mean. But let's just check this. Oh, it's fully grown. I thought we'd. Right. Okay, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we're going to have to ignore that. That's not fully grown either, but... right, okay, let's set you again. Now, we need to go grab the bales, don't we? From off the other field. So, I'm going to say my words. We're going to get this time-lapsed, and we're going to see, after this, if, like, yeah, what happens... Whether the AI actually can do this with the... and then while we're down that end, we'll have a look at the store as well. In fact, yeah, no, we'll just. I'm not going to rush. Yeah, I've got to be honest. It's been nearly all modding, but I knew I was close, and I didn't finish explaining why it's important to me. The Razik was the very first thing that I actually did. I actually put lime onto it, and to me at the time it was a massive thing to actually put lime onto the fertilizer spreader, to actually figure that one out, even though it's a tiny little thing, and like to any other modder it would be a pathetic sort of thing, but to me at the time it meant a lot. But I couldn't figure out a lot of things because I've not done much modding at all, and I was only just tweaking a few little things on the XMLs, and I didn't really completely grasp everything I was doing, or how I did it, or what it did, or all of that type of stuff. But then obviously a few things got a little bit like that, coming in and out, tweaking a few settings, you begin to figure out a few things, and when you've done things quite a few times, all of a sudden the penny drops. It's just how it works. So sometimes you're just better off to just keep on practicing, even if you break things, just keep on practicing, and then one time you'll get that eureka moment where you really realise what's going on, or you get an inkling, and then eventually the inkling turns into a, oh, I get that now, and you get that eureka moment where it really does click and you know exactly what you're doing, and yeah, that's bales. Right, I'm going to say my words. Oh yeah, we're going to like go to the shop and like do all of that. We're going to need to still plough this. I'm trying to think of the words. Yeah, plough. You know. Yes, we need to plough it. So I'm going to say my words. Oh yeah, we've got a lot to do really. Still, and we're going to check the sales as well. So I'm going to see you guys and gals. No, I was saying money, yeah, no, that's why I don't want to just crack on. Yeah, obviously the modding's sort of taken first thing, only because, not because of, yeah, I mean, I'm not a terribly successful channel anyway, but that doesn't mean to say I take for granted those viewers. I was thinking about this earlier, and this is a massive shout out to Kevin, really, real massive. I was thinking, I've never met Kevin at all, but his character is, the support he's given myself on the channel is just well out there. So massive shout out, Kevin. You know, it's I feel you're a friend, even though I've actually not met you in person. For all the conversations we've had and all the comments you've made and that I've made, and I'm going to respond to your comments this very evening. Yeah, I've been trying to sort of figure out the mods, but I thought I've got to get back onto my content. Or you know, I am still sort of doing the odd one, but I'm obviously, this has taken a precedent. But once I've got these two mods on, I am still going to do the modding, obviously, because I'm beginning to sort of, it's beginning to click. Okay, let's go and sort that squabble out. It's obviously really is a squabble of epic proportion. Oh, it's still missing. Yeah, it's still not doing that. Yeah, I'm on Reezy Forest. I had to keep popping in the middle. It's like reading the. Oh, this is, yeah. Let's just. Yeah, this is exactly what happened on Reezy Forest. It's like the width is totally not right. And I got this before, even when I adjusted it on the XML type. It really is very, very strange. So again, this is why I tried to look at the. BDSB video on this, because I was like, what am I missing? Why can I not get this? But yeah, massive shout out to Kevin. Really, of all of the supporters of the channel, I mean, there's quite a few that some come and go. I mean, Kevin's got a life and is really busy, but even when he was really busy, he was still putting a thumbs up and a like on nearly every single video, and I've got to be honest, that's well above and beyond. That is real. If I was a bigger channel, I would literally trust Kevin with like being a moderator or something like that, the best moderator for the channel, that type of stuff, because he has sort of really gone so far and above and beyond, like for the channel and myself, and it really is appreciated. So sometimes you just gotta say it out loud, and rather than just sort of think it. So just really bowled over by his continued support of the channel, his continued comments and support, and it is fantastic, because there are times you do sort of like doubt, but it always comes back to this for myself. I'm not really, I mean, yeah, I am Marmite, and I do realise that it's true. Sometimes I try a bit, I know my own character flaws. It's always been important to me to be liked, and the bottom line is I try too hard. I realise that it's a character flaw. People are going to like you or they're not, and it really is as simple as that. There's no, wow, that was lucky, that's just right amount. We've got one extra bale just like rolling around outside, but that's all off the field, which is brilliant. So we'll send someone down with the plough, or do we just, yeah, because I'm just trying to think, do we just lease a plough just because we're this close and actually use this like tractor for this? All that it was important really was grabbing those off the field so we could actually get this next job done. So let's we own this land, so it doesn't really matter if we drop this there. Let's just grab it. I know we've got another one. It's more about time and all the rest of it. So yeah, I know I keep flitting, I apologise, it's true. But yeah, I sort of like someone saying, oh, do I? And I thought, well, look, do you know, all of my videos have got like 20 views, 35 views, 40 views after a couple of weeks. In the grand scheme of things, that's all that matters to me, is that like people, yeah, that people like, let's sell that, and we'll buy and sell it. We don't want, yeah, that'll do nicely. Yeah, it is, so I don't really care, because it's a constant, and as long as people are sort of watching and people are finding the content interesting, even if it is, as I said, I am Marmite, and I realise that, so I'm never going to appeal to the masses, and I'm not really worried about that. As long as some people get enjoyment from the content, it'd be nice if I got a few more comments. I don't mean that nasty to Kevin, it's fantastic always to hear from him. But what I mean is, it would be nice to sort of get, sometimes you feel like a ship, and there's only sort of Kevin to guide you to, like, because I know if I did something stupid, Kevin would like say, oh, that's a bit, yeah, that's not really, no, I think you veered offline, and I would trust Kevin's comments, and I really would listen to what he said, because again, it's right, it's just lease. Yeah, but it would be nice to have other people's, because it's nice to have other opinions. I mean, Chad sort of comes sometimes, but again, I've not heard from Chad in a while. Again, I know people have got busy lives and all the rest of it. Right, no, we've got anything. We can fuel up at our points here. Only just do that. Right, so that's another 20 grand made just for the buying and selling of a piece of equipment. It really is good. Another thing I'm going to say as well is the containers. In FS19, my favourite mod of all was the container mod, but I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking I'd love to do a container, and I thought, yeah, but a silo's also a storage. Weren't we going to get some fuel? I thought a silo is more realistic, really, on the site. It is weird, although for years I've been hankering after getting the container mod. I've always set at the back of my mind, I think, sort of like wanted to mod, but not always taking it seriously, whereas now I really do sort of take that. Right, I think we're going to have to, yeah, I think we'll let the fertiliser do, and we will grab this, because I don't think this is ever going to get any better. Yes, I've done this literally at the speed of yeah, like normal seeders. I didn't want this to be Hose FS. Yeah, you can see they don't read the edge of the field. I had to go around the entire edge of the field, but we're not going to do that. It's going to take way too long. But yeah, it's what it is. Why they're missing a bit. Again, it will be, I know what it will be. It'll be me that's done something wrong. You see, what I've tried to do is increase the width, and I have done it. It is definitely bigger than 15 meters, but I've not done it right. You can see it's unequal. it goes back an awful long way on the left, and it's almost straight on the right. That should be sort of like swizzed in the middle, so that's definitely not right. It really does need changing. It has done a massive amount though on the field, in all truthfulness, but still not right. It is fantastic with the seeds. The one thing I do love about this, obviously in real life, if I was seeding at that width, then obviously I would be wasting seeds, whereas the game will only seed the bit that you haven't already seeded, which I'm very grateful of, really. But you can see the spread is enormous, but it's definitely totally unequal. And to me, really, it's important that I get this right, even if it's a bit of trial and error to begin with, until I get that Eureka mode. And that's what I was sort of saying earlier. You don't always get it. I've watched that video from BDSSB, I don't think that's his name, but it's close, at least 2 or 3 times, and I sort of think I get it, and I do the maths, and I think yeah I get that, and I see him do the cultivator that he's got his shot, and now that makes quite a bit of sense to me. But as soon as it does this fan sort of shape with the seeder, I'm like, yeah, but I don't get it now. I don't get what you mean. So it really is a bit strange. Yeah, you can see, I'll sort of explain what I mean. It has a start point which is right at the back of the seeder, so that's the center line. Then it has a height and it has a width. Now, but it also has a minus and a plus. What I mean is it has to the left. If you imagine it's 27 meters, the halfway line would be 13.5 meters. So that means you should be 13.5 meters width to the right. Now the width is only going to be 13.5 meters because it's going to do the left anyway, and the height is how far back that is, but it doesn't look like that on the i3D. I think that's what BDSSB was trying to say, was it really looks completely different. But you've got to think of it as the cultivator. But I'm not quite, I can't quite see it in my head, if you know what I mean. I have got a strange brain. I've always said that. I am clever. I mean, what I mean is I can do some really special things. And a bit like when I was a kid, I was the slowest in the class for reading. I'm not always fast on the uptake. I think I've done this one. Yeah, it's only half done it though. No, you just need to switch it off and lower and then switch back on again. Yeah, I was struggling on my reading. They were almost marked me as a remedial, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mean it funny, but I wasn't. It wasn't that I was a remedial, and thanks to my teacher, Miss Salt, she persevered. It was before the invention of TAs, and teachers were expected to do everything. And Miss Salt didn't give up on me. Am I actually doing this in the right place? Or am I actually going... Is the bit to the left of me the bit that I should be doing? No, I think it is actually. Yeah, the bumpy bit. I think that's the bit that's not been done. I'm actually going over the bits that have already been done. Oh, do you know? Seriously. Yeah, so as I said, yeah, I'm not forgetting where I was. My teacher didn't give up on me. Has this been done? Because this doesn't look like this has been done at... No, it hasn't. It's not been done at the edge at all. Yeah, there's quite a lot needs doing. Yeah, so my teacher didn't give up on me, which I was obviously very grateful for. Although I was 5, obviously very young, and as I said, but you know, people already are like, well, he's not getting it, so he's very slow. But again, she didn't give up on me, and I literally... There was that moment where I was like, I get it. I'm slow on a bit like I can see complicated things. I've got a real strange mind. I can really see complicated things, but simple things sometimes evade me. It was a little bit like when on FS22, when I sped time up, I could not for the life of me see until someone explained to me, and I thought, oh, you absolute wally, that makes perfect sense. Why could you not see that? And I thought, well, I couldn't see that because that's just the way my brain works. And then somebody explains it, or I get it myself, like I did with reading. I finally got it, and then I actually overtook a lot of the kids who were just steady readers. They were just readers, and whereas I became a good reader and I love language. I didn't, as I said, I struggled, slow starter, but then when I got the moment, I was very clever with it, and that's what I'm saying. It's not always a sign of. I've still got that kind of brain where sometimes I cannot see things, and a bit like with the modding, sometimes just by repeating things over and over again, I like almost get it, almost can see that I'm almost there, and then I'll keep sort of tearing things to pieces, making mistakes, and then I think, right, now I get it. You just get that moment where you actually begin to see it. So yeah, don't give up on yourself, and we've all sort of got strengths and weaknesses, all of us, and I think this is going to be slightly bigger than, yeah, it is. It's almost times like this that I wish I hadn't have made this into a proper seeder. No, I do really. It was the one thing. I had a conversation with Milk That Hen when he was a viewer before he made his own channel, and it is true. Obviously, casting is one of the earliest forms of seeding that ever existed, and people used to seed from a bag, running up and down the rows. Let's just check. I think I need to do a little bit here as well. Yeah, I do. Running up and down the rows, and obviously, yeah, you just cast. So a machine casting is very much a possibility. The other thing is, though, obviously with casting, is speed. If you were to throw things too quickly, it's just going to scatter all over the field and you're going to waste it. So Milk That Hen spoke to a farmer that he knew, and he said, well, would it be possible to cast? Could you use a machine to cast? And the farmer said, yeah, but your speed would have to be probably no faster than 10 miles an hour for it to actually do it properly. And it is true. I mean, the bottom line is, this is real. It is a possibility. Whether manufacturers do it or not, you really could do this. Now, I think this is probably a little bit of a... because I think you'd probably still do furrows. You'd plough furrows and you'd put your seeds down it when you used to cast. Although no, there is loose casting as well, literally, where people used to just fling seeds on the field. I mean, certain seeds do need depth and some sort of don't. So, but I mean, this is obviously, it's a little bit of a taking a little bit of a liberty to try and make it a bit simpler for us. Although, I mean, because most seeders would go below the ground, but what I'm saying is, it is still a possibility. You can still seed, but it wouldn't quite be like this. Not really. Right, so I think it's the little line here. Yeah, it is. I can see it now. Yes, it's still, when you consider how slow this would be if I was doing it with a 6-metre seeder, I'd still be right, even with having to go over what the workers have done already. Now, the other thing is, whilst I'm doing this, let's see how the fertilising went, because I'd imagine, yeah, exactly the same. So we need to do that too. Or we course split. Now that is an interesting thing, actually, thinking about it. Is if we course play this, will course play get this right? And the other thing is that what I would like to see is, because course play is probably going to read the width of this spot on, I would imagine. I can't say this for certain, but so this is field 10, and let's check. No, field width settings, 10 meters. There's no way that is 10 meters. Is it 20? Is it double that? Oh, seriously. Right, let's just see, because that does not look right to me. The thing is, if it's right though, and it is 10 meters, I mean, obviously, no, that is right. So let's save that as 10 meters. And we shall see if that covers the in-between. Let's go to first. We'll also see if it actually covers the field properly. If it does, then it probably is 10 meters. Which is terrible if it is. Yeah, it really is. That's again, no, there's no way that's 10 meters. That's well more than that. It's probably because it's on the skew, but we shall see if like Courseplay has read it right. I would imagine it's probably 20, if anything. If I've not quite got it right, the math side of it, then I would say that it's probably 20. The one thing about hosers, the AI workers, and I figured it out in time when it first dropped, and it was a very early mod in FS22, the caster. I did love it. It was, I think I was still on Horbella on the first sort of like go of it, because I had a couple of shots at it when his dropped, and you couldn't use it with the AI, as in the standard worker, because they couldn't read it right. They would read it as if it was a 36-meter fertilizer spreader, which of course it wasn't. But I think it would, yeah, but it would read it as that 36-meter. Now, when I figured it out, I realised that it actually was 20 meters, 10 meters either side. So when I course-played it, Courseplay also read it wrong. But you could set it to 20 meters, and if you set it on Courseplay, it would correctly do the fields properly. So it really was 20 meters, but the game read it as if it was still a 36-meter fertilizer body. So holes did it different to me. I've done this as a seeder. There's a every single machine is set up as a something like a fertilizer spreader, or a seeder with fertilizer, or a seeder without fertilizer, or a combine with header, and each of these designations gives a vehicle certain abilities. So I could have set this as a fertilizer spreader and just like holes did, but instead it had got seeds. And yeah, and I could have swapped the fertilizer effect like I haven't done that. I have literally made this into a seeder. It's got like the seed effect that you see is a proper seed effect, but I didn't do that. Holes did it by, I'm imagining now, because I've not looked at his mod. I'm imagining Holes did it by switching the fertilizer for seeds and switching the array name so that it was seeds instead of fertilizer, the effect, sorry, yeah, but it was still really a fertilizer spreader. Now I've done this differently. This is a seeder, hence the fact that it goes at 6 miles an hour, because that's how fast seeders go in the game. That's what Giants have set it. So therefore mine is a real seeder. But I did want that. I did really want that. I think didn't we do that already? No, I missed it. Yeah, I wanted this to be a seeder because of the conversation I had with Milkbat Hen, where basically we were like talking about it, and I always, after that conversation, tried to go at 10 miles an hour. I didn't. Sometimes I went over it a little bit, but I was trying always to observe the fact that it was a seeder, and that really you shouldn't be able to drive across the field at 31 miles an hour. It's very nice to be able to do that, but yeah, you couldn't really do it. So I wanted realism. I still want that. It's still important to me not to plough around corners, and to do everything that you could, even if this gets frowned upon, as perhaps Holzers was, because it's like, well, you know, a lot of people think you can't do it. Well, you can. It was done this way for thousands of years, only without a machine. So it is definitely plausible and possible that this could be made. Again, obviously within the game terms, it may be made different to this, but it's still a possibility. Yeah, I mean, when I say a caster, I mean you could possibly, I think you'd still have to have some sort of rows. I don't think this particular design like this, where it would cast in a single line, unless it was a very rare seed that you're allowed to cast on the top. Or I suppose you could then disturb the soil and bury it again, so there would be a second, like you'd need to like do something else to make it work. That definitely looks more like, to me, about 20 meters. I would say I think Courseplay is probably right. Looking at that, I would say 20 meters, which is Yeah, it's about what I had last time. I did it by the XML last time because I totally didn't get it what BDBSB was actually talking about, and and I still don't completely get what BDSSB is talking about. Not at all. Right, I missed a bit there. Let's get this proper. Brilliant. So let's see. Oh, it's not. Hang on a minute. It's not. The work has not completed his task. Or did I click the button by mistake? I wonder. Maybe. Yeah, so again, I'm not sure if I completely finished it. Yeah, it's but I'm not thinking of giving up the content, and I'm not like, yeah, it really is important to me to carry on with the channel, and not just like right. So there is a bit down here, but obviously I do want to do the modding as well. That's also important to me. The other thing is I am getting older, it's true. I mean, at the minute I release 2 episodes every single night. Now that is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of content creators who do this for a living who produce far less than that. So if I went down to 1 a night and I did 7 episodes a week, then that's still not terrible, really. So again, it may be one of those things, especially as the modding sort of hopefully takes off. I mean, I know I'm getting better at it. That is one thing that you know yourself, and that's not, you're not bragging, you realise that you're getting better, because I've ripped the i3D file to pieces multiple times to get this right. I'm determined. I was, to begin with, I was a bit of a sloppy modder. I would I would do it once, and like that, I didn't want to be doing it again. But like now, it's more important to me to get it right. I think I'm right. This is a line as well. Let's just have a quick look on the map. Yes, I was determined, and I was determined that for console players, I was definitely going to release this. Just check. Yeah, no, this is the last line. Thank goodness. Yeah, I was determined that I was going to release this for console players, because a lot of the viewers, over the years, again, Marty, I don't hear from. I know he watches a lot of the big sort of names. He comes and goes a bit, and I do know that. But like Kevin's always been such a constant, although obviously he's got a busy family life as well, which I do appreciate. But he has been one of them. Well, I think he is the most constant factor to the channel that has been Kevin's support. So that's why I really do want to mention that, because it is I can't think of the right words. His support of the channel, let's just keep it simple, it has been just like absolutely phenomenal. It's for someone to go so far above and beyond, it just really needs accrediting and like acknowledging that the support is given, and also I do appreciate it, and that's, you know, what I'm saying. But it would also be nice, again, there's some people do come and go, there's a few commenters who you can tell they were avid commenters for a few weeks, and they're, you know, obviously they've gone somewhere else. You know, again, a lot of us watch. I'm Mr. CLP, massive supporter. Obviously, I can't watch, but if I was going to watch somebody, it would be Mr. CLP, as I did for many a year. Right, I think there's a bit here, just a little bit, and I realise that I don't expect people to. You know, I hope that you're going to create content that people want to watch. That's important, but it doesn't matter to me the numbers. I mean, it'd be nice to grow, but as I said, I do realise I am very Marmite, so I'm never going to appeal to the masses like Mr. CLP does or someone else, because I am a very geeky person, and that's, suppose, if you're an IT technician or an IT person, it really does go with that. It probably, yeah, it sort of matches your character. It's why I sort of drill down, and I'm good at like remembering widths and, you know, like working out what implement it was just by the width I've written the course in, all that type of stuff. Oh wow, I'd forgotten about the greenhouse. Yeah, we need to put the grapes and oils down, don't we? I mean, I know we're doing well with cash and all that, but yeah, we need to get that whisking off, don't we? I'm trying to think where we're going to... Oh, it's got to go over there, hasn't it, really? There's a bit of wasteland here, though, that's sort of like just there. I'm not sure if it's big enough. It might be big enough for the new grapes and oils. Just if we levelled it here, we'd have to build up a bit of a bank just there first. Let's save the game. Let's be sensible for once in my life and actually do this. I am getting better at that. It is true. Actually, on this, I was sort of looking at the end of FS22, and I thought you're getting better at actually working out. I used to be afraid of putting V mode, as it used to be called. But I've got better at working out how to level from points to points and things like that. Like that's the point we want to level from. And then it goes up higher and higher. And it's going to go sort of almost over that like that. And I realise that. And you sort of work things out. And then one day you just get those eureka moments where you like think, oh, right, yeah, I get it. And that's what, again, another thing I'm saying. Practice makes perfect, as that old saying goes. It really does. There's no denying that fact that the more you muck around with stuff, the better you get at actually doing it. Right, I think we don't want to have to do a little bit of softening, or it's going to go. Want to be little as well. Just want to take the edge off that. Oh, it's going to be silly. Right. Let's put the grapes and oils. We're going to do it right next door, and we're going to use the new one. I think I've got the old one on this as well, which will be grapes and oils. That should be the new one. Yeah, it is. Oh, that's going to like. Yeah, we might have to do it like that, I would say, because we don't need anything. The water point is sort of fine there, so if we do that like that and put it on B mode, is this the new one? Yeah, no, it has. It's because it's got the grey, so it's got to be. Fantastic. Let's just like level that up a little bit more, because we've now gone to the very edge of that. I could actually take this one back a bit. It's sort of like fantastic. Let's do a bit of painting just to get rid of the. Yeah, well, you would, wouldn't you, really? Let's make it a bit bigger. Could also make use of the concrete around here as a bit of like. I don't know what we could put here though. More just as a slab of concrete. I think for like you could leave a couple of vehicles. See it? Have I gone in? I don't think I've gone into the field very much. I think that was all the sort of wasteland area. I think so. I think we're good. Let's just actually, while we're busy with this, let's just make it look a bit more right. So grapes and oils. Let's actually get that going over to the I always forget about, obviously, the greenhouse. You're allowed to like send it across, so we really, obviously, the ones on the top. Oh no, we're not on it. No, it's activated. Selling, distributing, and distributing to the grapes and oils, where we are going to like switch on grape juice, activate olive oil, and raisins. All should be storing, so that's fantastic. So we could also do canola oil, rice oil, or sunflower oil as well, so that's quite fantastic. So we should see that we have this session actually done a field of wheat. Now let's have a look how Courseplay's doing with the, yes, it's filling in the gaps. So it's a 20 metre spreader at the minute. So yeah, that's all the I have missed a trick as well. The grass, I think, I don't want to be cutting it again. I don't want it to be bold in. So we're going to. And I do also realise I'm still 162. I showed 2 pictures. Let's just quickly grab that front loader off the middle of the road because it's very unrealistic. Yeah, it's. What was I saying? I hate that when I do that. Needs something doing with it as well. It's just, I think the whole honey again, we've not been looking at the honey to see like if that's still red. Yeah, it's 200 below, so should be March, but it does go up every couple of months as well. Anything else is good silage, but we're not selling that. Hey, digestate, 49,000. Yeah, there's 162 1,000 litres of grass from the other one that I sort of showed the picture. They didn't have a lot in it, but it had that. So let's just stick that. I mean, this bit here actually is another bit of slab of land where we might be able to put one small shed, because obviously one shed's not enough. Obviously, there's just way too much equipment going to go into this, and I know I've got the bread all. It's just I need to do the testing on my stuff, or it's even though we've got that. But yeah, so it's not a total bust with this, but it's not quite ready. I need to get my head around the mucking around with the distances so that I get this all right. Now then, how are we doing down the bottom? Of course, that's the worker that said they'd like finished. I'd forgotten. Right, let's just go and finish. There was a bit in that corner I spied, and I'm trying to think, what do we actually do in this field? We don't want another field of wheat, surely. No, is this? Can it not do it? It should be able to. No, I don't know why it missed that patch, but it is what it is. Let's take this in. Yeah, I think we'll plant sunflowers. Canola's a good crop though, really. We're missing out on... But then again, it's going to hold the soil up. There are other things like sunflowers we can... Imagine we're doing olives for oil. And it's a really good oil as well. Seeds are terrible on hard economy. It really is absolutely no point at all in doing seeds on hard economy. It's a little bit like corn on hard economy, that is. It's about 600, so it's really not terribly brilliant. Whereas I love doing seeds on normal economy because they were on FS22 a really good earner. So. Smashing. Let's just send that straight back. And return. Yep. Fantastic. It saved us running all the way to the top, being right next to the shop. So fertilising's going on. We've got that ready. We're going to do that next time. We forgot about it in the field. That's because I got single-minded. Could have put that on the back as well, that is true, but I think this doesn't look third growth stage. No, I think it grows a little bit taller than that, so that means it's going to be third growth stage in October, and I don't want to ever cut in October because it really does, it makes things terrible for the year after. So grapes and oils, so we've done that, we've got that to go in there. We could stick the, yeah, this was something I was talking about as well. Let's just grab you because you've not seen any action at all. Let me just... Yeah, we don't really need this on, do we? I was going to use this for the front loader, but I've not got the... Well, yeah, I suppose I have got the front loader, but it's on the other one. If we just stick these sort of down here and leave it there, it shouldn't really get in the way. Yeah, I was talking about this on Pelenio. I've not released it yet, but I have got quite a few episodes. It is going to be the next European map after Izu Forest, and I've got quite a few episodes in it. To be honest, it was one of my favourite Let's Plays in FS22, and I never released it. Not my other Pelenio, the new farmer, but I did a start from scratch. So what I've done is almost the same. Should be able to. Yeah, we'll get one of these. Yeah, it's weird with these. I was talking about this on Pelenio, literally, about the fact that there's so many different types of pallets. It's really sort of quite... Some of them you can pick up loose like this, and others you can't, and others you can drop straight in, and then others you can't do that. I was sort of saying that really, I really would wish that we get a pallet that did all that a pallet can do, instead of it having to be lots of different types of pallets. Because it's quite. I mean, I've got to be honest, it has caused me some issues because I thought some of my mods weren't working, and that's because it didn't accept that pallet back in, even though the pallet had come out and it's a pallet trigger. It wouldn't accept it, so it was really weird. Should grab the cones out to stop these, because we're going to always want these to actually go in there. I think if you do produce, as in like you tell it to do that, I don't think they actually pop there, but we shall see. I might be wrong. 5,000 litres of olives. That is amazing. Yeah, olives, both olives and grapes, are one of those things that I found really hard work in FS. Oh no, you can. Yeah, they both can be loose, these type of ones. But there's a lot that you can't. You can't do it with the bakery. You can't do it with the flour. All you can do is sell it. If that pops out, I mean, unless of course the modder makes a special pallet for the use of theirs that has that property, then of course you can put it back in. Or is that wrong? Am I wrong on that? Did I? Yeah, because I had some triggers that weren't working properly, so it may just as well be mine too. I think these are not far off now. I didn't want it to be a silly amount, but obviously I did want it to be a good amount, but without it getting silly. So I don't think that's too bad for a few months from there. Now then, how are we doing with water and that on it? I'm not... oh, plenty. It's not going down very much at all. Got plenty of manure as well. That doesn't go down very much at all, so that's amazing. Alright, so then, that's finishing off. Do we do the animals? We could do. I think it's about time, really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be very... now this is where we really need some like the BI Industries one. This is not going to work, is it? No, we need a push. Yeah, okay, we will ask the shop to deliver. It is in the middle of the... well, nearly the end of the session, really. In fact, do you know something? It's true, actually. I think it probably would be the end of the session. So we've done a lot this session, really. Up to 388,000 through selling our silage additive, which we sold it for the fraction of the cost. But I don't want to make it. It's true. I can see totally why giants really don't want to have you sell that, because you'd be a millionaire. You really, or a 9 point something millionaire to be exact. But right, so yeah, I'm going to leave that trundling because I'm going to do me catch-up stage in a minute. Next session, we're going to do the animals, but we haven't really got any work to do, as in other than go through the winter. Really, now we've done our planting the one field I wanted to plant. We've fertilised it. We will. Oh no, did we plough that, or? Oh, I missed a bit there. Did we plough that? Does it need ploughing? No. Needs rolling. We haven't got a roller, but it doesn't need ploughing. Doesn't need lime either. Fantastic. But our other one, that needs everything, but we don't need to worry about that at the minute. It's been ploughed. We could de-stone it. I suppose send one of the tractors up there with a de-stoner and get that going. I don't think that's a bad idea. That's the last job we're going to do. We're going to send the de-stoner up there and start it going so that the worker will crack on next session and actually get that job done. So yeah, but I'm going to say my goodbyes. I'm going to do this and then I'm going to start my catch-up session, as I always call it now. So yeah, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.